Okay, I have filled out my plant-based breakfast sheet and I searched for a plant-based, oil-free granola. I love granola and I thought that'd be a fun thing to start every day with as my breakfast. So as I was searching, I came across a recipe on Simple Veganista called pumpkin granola. And I love the pumpkin flavor. So pumpkin is a vegetable, so I filled that in. My grain is oats. My legume, I thought, well, I could serve it as a cereal, pour some soy milk over it, and that would be my legume. Fruit, it's not in the recipe, but I thought I could add blueberries. That would be a delicious way to have the granola with the soy milk with the blueberries. And then nuts and seeds, it contains both pumpkin seeds and pecans. So that recipe is linked on the example that I gave you on the plant-based breakfast sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and make it now. I won't mention any of the amounts because I want you to visit Simple Veganista if this is something that you like and sounds good to you. Okay, so I'm going to start with some oats. I just keep a big bucket of oats because I use them for overnight oats, I use them for granolas, I use them for just regular oatmeal in the morning. So I'm going to add my oats, my pecans, so I've got pecans here. Stir that up. Okay, and then it also calls for pepitas, which is just another name for pumpkin seeds. And then a little bit of cinnamon. So we want to spice up our granola. Cinnamon is awesome. It's a great spice. It also helps control insulin levels, so that you don't get the insulin spike. Okay, and then it also calls for allspice or nutmeg. I've got nutmeg here, so I'll use that. And then a little bit of salt, and if you're salt-free, you can just leave it out. And then these are our dry ingredients. So I'm going to mix these together. So we've got our nuts, our seeds, our oats, and our cinnamon in here. And then we're going to add our maple syrup. And again, I've mentioned this in other videos. If you've never heard me say this before, if you don't want to use maple syrup, you can make a date syrup by putting whole dates in water on the stove, getting it nice and hot, boil them, and then blend them, and you'll get a date syrup. And Chef AJ uses that a lot. So you can probably just Google to get a recipe to get the perfect ratios for that if you're interested. Okay, so I've added my maple syrup, and now I'm going to add my pumpkin puree. So this is my vegetable. So lots of vitamin A, along with plenty of other nutrients. And get the right measure. This is going to give us an amazing flavor, pumpkin flavor. And then lastly is going to be some vanilla extract if you want to add it. It's totally optional. She mentions optional on her recipe. But if you want to add it, she calls for 1 teaspoon. Now vanilla you can get, usually you'll find it in liquid form. I have been finding it in powdered form, so I've been buying it this way. And I'll just sprinkle that in, stir it in. And those are all the ingredients. It's super simple to make your own granola. And then you don't have all those added ingredients that they put in when you buy granolas already bagged for you in the grocery store. And it makes your house smell so good. I love the smell of fresh granola. when I have guests over, I love to make granola in the morning. I often give granola as gifts to people. Put it in some mason jars with a cute ribbon around the top. Okay, so I've got my cookie sheet with a silk pad on it so that my granola won't stick. You can use parchment paper as well. And we're gonna cook this in the oven. I believe she calls for 300 degrees. And I just need to find out how long. So you want to spread it so it's not too thin, but not clumpy. So I would say, yeah, it really just a good layering. I would say it fills the cookie sheet quite nicely, just as a layer that looks like this. Okay, so in the instructions, she says 300 degrees, 40 to 50 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna put it in and I'll show it to you when it's done. Okay, I've taken the granola out of the oven. It looks delicious. I let it cool a little bit before I showed it to you. It should be a little bit crunchy. And like I said, you can put it in a bowl with some soy milk and some blueberries or whatever fruit you choose and have a well-rounded breakfast. So I hope you enjoy.